Hamza, diolch yn fawr. Wrth gwrs am y gwahoddiad. Thank you very much indeed for the invitation to be with you today. I remember very well being with you at the All Nations Centre in Cardiff all that time ago, and I am very envious of you all today, being in Llandudno, being by the sea on Cardiff. It is a beautiful spring day, but you have the benefit of being by the sea as well, and you have the benefit of being together. And I'm really sorry it wasn't possible to travel to Llandudno today, but I am very pleased and grateful for the opportunity to be with you all. Congratulations on mounting the conference. I hear very good reports of what you've been able to do and discuss together so far. Look, there are only two central themes in what I have to say today. One is something about the critical moment that we face and the opportunity that provides in the fields of renewable and marine energy. And then to say something about the way in which I think we can best take advantage of those opportunities. And for a country the size of Wales, for me, the way in which we do make the most of the chances that are coming our way is inescapably through partnership, through partnerships with others who share our same ambitions and values, and by working collectively with others enable us to deliver on the opportunities that we have. So something first of all then about the critical moment. The critical moment seems to me is made up of the extraordinary experiences that we have lived through together in the most recent time. So when I became First Minister shortly after I was with you last in 2018, we were on the threshold of leaving the European Union. The Welsh Government, as you know, always believed that our future was better secured through continued membership of the European Union. But the fact of Brexit was decided in a referendum, and ever since we have been focused as a Welsh Government on the form of Brexit and trying to find a way of leaving the European Union that didn't do damage to our essential interests in terms of the economy and trade, but our essential interests as well in terms of the cooperative relationships that we have established with so many regional governments in other parts of the European Union, and which need to go on being part of the way in which we shape our future. In the discussions that I have had since, with many other regional leaders. I was with the President of Brittany only last week. Renewable energy and marine energy always features in those conversations, looking for ways in which we can continue to work together on both shared agendas, but also in sharing expertise and sharing experience. So Brexit continues to play out in the background of all of these things, and the Welsh Government's ambition is to find ways in which we continue to make the case for Wales as an outward-looking nation, positively engage with partners on those agendas that matter much to us all. Coronavirus is the second and inescapably shaping part of this critical moment. Today it is the anniversary. It's exactly 2 years today since we went into that first lockdown, and it's a day of national reflection in other places. And my own reflections on those 2 years are a combination of sorrow on the one hand, but gratitude and admiration on the other. Sorrow because of the damage that coronavirus has done in the lives of so many families, but gratitude and admiration for the way in which people in Wales responded to the crisis, go on responding to the crisis. That sense of social solidarity that we have seen in a nation where people are always more likely to ask a question about how someone else is doing than they are to ask about how they themselves are managing. That sense of looking out for one another, of taking actions in our own lives because they make a difference to other people, has been an astonishing strength of these last 2 years. And we need to go on capturing the ways in which we've been able to work together in such new and innovative ways to share the collective effort to do the right thing on behalf of our fellow citizens, and to make sure that that goes on being part of our way of working together in the future. The third of the 4 ways in which I'm going to suggest things have changed fundamentally since we last met comes as a result of the COP conference in Glasgow last year and the new and stretching targets which we have set as a nation in support of our ambition for a net zero Wales. Our plan is a stretching plan. It does demand of us that we go above and beyond the actions we have already taken. And it demands of us all that we take with equal seriousness, alongside the coronavirus crisis, the crisis that is climate change. And I was able to go to the COP conference in Glasgow and to hear from other countries around the globe where the impact of climate change is not something that we worry about between now and 2050, but is happening to them here and now, where the impact on their daily life is shaped by the emergency in the climate and the nature emergency. And we have to be as determined and as committed here in Wales to play our part in preserving our fragile planet for the future and for those who come after us, as we have been in facing the more immediate emergency of the last 2 years. And then finally, in terms of the shaping experiences since 2018, there is the global crisis of the moment, the dreadful events in Ukraine, the horrors that we see being inflicted upon that European country with its democratic structures and its ambitions for its own future. And of course, to be alert to the way in which that has shone a light on other dependencies that we have as a nation and the fragilities that those have exposed as well. Reliance on fossil fuels from Russia and from other volatile and unpalatable parts of the world has absolutely been exposed by the dreadful events that we see every day on our television screens. Now, I just want to be as clear as I can with you that the conclusion that the Welsh Government draws from all of that is that energy security of the future is best achieved and most rapidly achieved through an unremitting focus on how we create a renewable energy future for Wales and for the United Kingdom. We are not attracted at all by solutions that rely, for example, on revisiting fracking, or which seek to accelerate the exploitation of fossil fuels that remain in the ground. For us, the part that we want to play in securing the energy that we need for the future, and which will help to deal with the cost of living crisis that we see occurring now in the lives of so many of our fellow citizens is to take a decisive and collective step towards a new and sustainable energy future. And that is one that has to see marine energy playing an important role in our transition to that secure and resilient energy future. Wales is blessed with an abundance of natural resources, whether that is in wind, in solar, but also in marine. Now, of course, those resources have to be managed sensitively with the needs of our future generations in mind. But the needs of those future generations can only be secured if we are as serious as we believe we should be in putting our efforts behind the achievement of a renewable energy future for Wales in the first instance, but then for others across the globe as well. We know that alongside the energy security benefits, economic opportunities for us in Wales, economic opportunities to support locally based large-scale renewable energy projects with the new well-paid and high-tech jobs of the future, with the supply chains that they can develop. Our interests in the renewable future are that to implement annual rounds for contracts for difference revenue funding from next year. We're glad to see £20 million ring-fenced for marine energy, including floating offshore wind in the emerging technology pot. But we know that there is more that we have to secure at that UK level. We have to go on working hard to persuade the UK government to invest in a path for marine from the nascent technologies of today to the commercially exploitable technologies of the future in the way that they have been prepared to do for both wind and for solar. So it's a key partnership for us. We welcome what's been secured so far. We go on with you, doing our best to persuade the UK government in the context I just described to do more to make marine renewable energy a keystone of that broader renewable energy future. Here in Wales, we have a key partnership with a Crown Estate. The Crown Estate is not devolved in Wales as it is in other parts of the UK, but it's a key partner for us. Of course, we welcome there as well the positive announcements around seabed leasing in the Celtic Sea and the way that that can be a positive catalyst for future investment. We're seeing that investment. You will know better than me the renewed interest from investment outside the United Kingdom in the Celtic Sea and all that it can help to deliver with the 5 already announced test and demonstration projects under consideration. And that's why we ourselves are active partners in the Celtic Sea cluster. Our third key set of partners involve Cornwall, the Isle of Scilly, the offshore renewable energy catapult, and of course marine energy Wales and WaveHub to drive our strategy for floating offshore wind. And as recently with the leader of Cornwall Council. The council is committed to this agenda. They want to work more closely with Wales. They want to come to Wales. They want to be able to speak face to face to people involved in today's conference and to be able to work closely with us. I'm very pleased to be able to confirm today that in a fourth key partnership, the Welsh Government is supporting directly the formalisation of the Offshore Energy Alliance, providing funding to establish that entity and to share knowledge with others about the exciting opportunities that we have here in Wales, a collaboration that extends to other nations as well, which takes me to the final and fifth key partnership I wanted to highlight today, the joint action plan that we signed last year with the Irish government, which commits us to supporting the economic development of the Celtic Sea. I was very pleased to welcome a delegation of ministers from the Republic here to Wales in October, and to have participation from Marine Energy Wales in the session that we held with them. It's a really key partnership for us, and one that we will go on investing in over the months ahead. I'm glad that you will have heard already of the announcement yesterday of the £31 million that is now going to be invested in Menter Mons Morlais infrastructure project off the coast of Ynys Môn. I hope you will see in it a tangible demonstration of the Welsh Government's commitment and our confidence in the sector, alongside our ongoing £60 million investment with others in the Pembroke Dock marine activities as part of the Swansea regional, the partnership that we have with the City Deal in Swansea. The Marine Energy Engineering Centre of Excellence and the Marine Energy Test Area, fully operational there, the demonstration zone and the Pembroke Dock infrastructure to follow, all of which is, as I say, a practical demonstration of the confidence we have that Wales is a place where some of the most innovative and creative projects are happening already and are being directly supported by government as well. So to end where I began, all of that, to my mind, is the way in which we craft a practical pathway to taking advantage of the critical moment that we face as a result of all of those recent experiences. Opportunities that we need to grab with both hands here in Wales for the needs of Wales today, but for future generations as well. That's why the Welsh Government is ambitious for our energy future. It's why we go on making the case for change, the case for that transition to the new and sustainable energy systems that can support our pathway to net zero. 2022 is shaping up to be a watershed moment. A watershed moment, not just for Wales, but for Europe and the rest of the world. That's why we need to grab that moment to go on establishing Wales's reputation as a genuine leader in new energy technologies and new energy possibilities. Diolch yn fawr I chi I gyd. Thank you all for everything that you are doing to help create that exciting and ambitious but highly necessary future for us all. Thank you very much indeed.